So I've just been given permission to video in Davidson, and they have the most magnificent furniture, veneers from maple wood, and in all sorts of dark colours. So I'll give you some close-up looks. Now that's metallic, or it doesn't feel like wood. So what a magnificent table that is. But this is the sort of thing, just look at the veneer here. I'll go up closer for you. So this is like my lizardwood living room table. Isn't that beautiful? The Wellington cabinet, 10 grand. Now that would last, that would last for 1,000 years. We have linen. And a desk. But this is what I like, something to go against the wall. Because with our small flats, furniture takes up room. But this gives you a place to put objects, lamps, and it's tucked away. And you get a rectangular, hi there, you get a rectangular lampshade, 6,000 for the finest furniture in the world. This is magnificent. Here's another one. Oh, look at that. That's class, isn't it? And then the metallic finish at the base. I don't know about the brass. It's brilliant, isn't it? 5 grand. But look at this. Look at that. 10 grand, and you've got the finest table in the world. I paid 2 grand for mine in the sale. So I don't need a table. I haven't got room for a desk. But I guess I could put all my computer stuff on it. But look, I think this bow U-shaped base that's everywhere, isn't it? Must be a design. Classical design of some kind. Now the red, they're bringing red and black and brown. Stands out, doesn't it? And the repetition of the 3 vases is elegant. So that's 20 grand. Huge. Is this U-shaped base, is that a classical look?
Yes, yes, it is definitely a classical look. It's probably shaped inspired by somebody called Ruhlmann, spelled R-H-U-L-M-A-N-N, Jacques Emile Ruhlmann. He's a French designer of the earlier part of the 20th century.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it's not a Roman look, it's French. Classical.
Yeah, yes.
I like it. It's very neat, isn't it?
Well,
it's complete.
I think the lines of our furniture are sort of, clean cut lines,
Isn't it?
Which
Much better than a leg.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's so popular now with
Is it?
With all sorts of people. We have a lot of clients in London and other parts of England, but then there's clients in...
Can I show you?
Yes.
Yeah, here we are. That's you, the director?
I am, yeah, sure.
Oh, your name is?
Richard Davidson.
So phone up Richard and he'll help you buy something nice.
Yeah, sure. But as I was saying, we have clients all over the world now.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, we've got quite a lot of Russian clients.
Mm-hmm.
For a long time, we've built up quite a broad sort of following of Indian clients, living mostly in London, but we have been sending stuff out to New Delhi.
But you've broken away from the brown classical English mahogany.
Yeah.
Is that a special reason?
Well, because it's just completely out of fashion.
Ah.
I mean, I myself used to be an antique dealer,
Ah.
and what was referred to as good English brown furniture is totally out of fashion now. And for mediocre pieces, the prices are probably the same they were 30 years ago, for antique pieces, that is. The finest pieces will continue to fetch high prices, but it's become a much smaller market. But essentially it's to do with, it's fallen out of fashion. And a lot of our clients may be, from the Middle East, from India, sort of modern Russians. They don't necessarily want what they regard as second-hand furniture.
No.
Something that, somebody else, has used. So
Yes, the Chinese won't buy a flat that's been habited before.
really, is that
They
true?
like to buy flats that haven't been used.
Yeah.
Is it, from a cultural point of view?
Yeah. I mean, since 2008, probably the start of the recession, we've been very, very busy, and it's just steadily getting.
And you're making them yourself? You've got a factory making them?
Yeah, we do.
So
we design everything.
So how do you manage to get such beautiful finishes and veneers?
Through a lot of hard work over the years, and continually trying to improve finishes and techniques.
You must have some amazing
But the thing is,
craftsmen.
yeah, the thing is, furniture today has got a lot of things to contend with that sort of older houses didn't have. For example, most modern houses today will have either underfloor heating or climate control or air conditioning. Now, air conditioning dries out the atmosphere. Underfloor heating will add to that, and then on top of that, you've got sealed window units. Whereas before, the average English house, say, was very drafty, but
I've got a heat exchanger that blows in fresh, warmed air, circulating all the time.
Sure.
And I've got a dehumidifier if it gets too high, the humidity's too high.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have a dry flat, no.
Yeah, sure. I mean, air conditioning when you're in a hotel, it can
Yes.
dry you out. You can dry you
Yeah,
out. can't
that's
it?
right.
So
So the veneer is susceptible to dryness, is it?
wood will be, yes. Wood
Is
will
it?
be. So I mean, the thing is, though, our furniture may go to say Moscow where the air is dry itself. It might go onto a super yacht where that can be going all over the place.
So the glues are important. Yeah. as well.
So the way you construct furniture is quite different today to how it used to be.
Right.
You have to, and the last thing we need is people phoning up and saying my furniture's splitting. So that's why we, put a lot of effort into it.
The technology of it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So they obviously solid wood underneath the veneer.
No, it's the substrate isn't solid wood because actually, if you if you made these thick tops in solid wood, in the sort of the old-fashioned way, if you like, it would almost certainly crack potentially within weeks.
So it's just a shell.
It's a shell, but there's a substrate underneath the veneers that is, that is very stable. It can't warp, it can't shrink. But for example, say this table in a Regency format. The table is veneered onto probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boards, either in oak or in pine, and then it was veneered on top. But if you made it like that today, and with the conditions I'm talking about, the solid timber would actually, the boards would shrink, and then you'd get a tear line along underneath where the boards have shrunk, and it would rip the veneer. But I mean, in fact, I was at a local auction earlier today, and there's a beautiful Burr Yewood Regency round table, and the table has got, I think, 4, and the veneers are just split because it's gone into a house, and it just can't cope with it.
The dryness.
Yeah.
It's very interesting to know. So especially when you're forking out 20 grand for a coffee table.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, if we supplied furniture to some of our clients that buy from us, it'd probably be dead and buried by now.
So these are heirlooms to pass on, aren't they?
Yeah, sure. We do build furniture to last, really.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a blogger, are you?
Yes, so I used to be a society photographer, and then when video came along I switched, and so I have about 3,000 hits a month.
Right.
But it's mainly kids looking at my video where I go into Hamley's, or what it's called, the store, the children's store.
Hamley's, yeah, sure.
And and there's a magician at the end when they see some magic. So they're all watching it from their phones now. But so I just go to cultural and artistic and society events and film them just to promote London.
Okay.
Culturally, I used to be a teacher, so I just carry on.
I'm trying to detect your accent.
Yeah, I was born in New Zealand, Christchurch.
Okay, yeah. So I was right in what I knew, either Australian or New Zealand. You probably say there's a big difference, but in Australia and New Zealand, is there?
Yeah. So we've got the drama now on TV of the convicts going out to Australia.
Yes.
There's a 3-part convict drama. It's quite funny.
Yes.
Our criminal laws haven't changed much. I think that's what they're trying to point out in this drama. The terrible laws they had there to control people.
Yeah. Would you mind if I just...
Yes, I must go.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Lovely to talk to you. Well,
all the best.
okay, Hugh.
I'll say
Thank
goodbye.
you.
Bye.